Hey gang, Chad here. Thanks for coming back to This Is What's for Dinner. I apologize, my new neighbor's making a bunch of noise on his tractor trying to build his house, level out the mountain, so we're just going to have to deal with that. Tonight, we're doing some more jalapeno poppers. Tonight's version is going to be pulled pork and chorizo tamale jalapeno poppers. So stick around. Give some shout outs to some people who are my inspiration, people I love to watch every day on YouTube. And for you viewers out there, you want to learn how to cook, you want to see some good food, you got to check these guys out. I got a little cheat sheet here, and let me tell you who they are. First off, if I can figure out how to do the annotations with a link, every time I say your name, I'll give you a link to your channel and an annotation. Hopefully that works out. Is it in no specific order? So here we go. Sal from the Root Boy Cooks. You're awesome. Your link's gonna be right here, I hope. Russ, Smokes a Rollin'. This guy's gonna be awesome. You guys watch him, he's gonna be blowing up. Let's try and put your link right down here maybe. We got Troy Smith from T-Roy Cooks. You're going right here. You're awesome, bud. His brother Sean Smith, Moonshine's Roadhouse. What's up, bud? Putting you right here. I ain't calling you spit shine either. The Vulgar Chef, Keith Batag. You're the man who started this popper search, so you're going right here in the middle, bud. Right on. Better hurry up, he's getting loud. Russ from Smoky Ribs. Everything you do is top notch. You're awesome, buddy. Putting you right here. And then Larry Wolf from the Wolf Pit. Love you, brother. You're going right here. Alright, let's get these poppers started. Alright, guys. Here we go. Let's do a flyby of our ingredients here real quick. Right, we got our poppers here. Our peppers, obviously. We got some Monterey Jack jalapeno habanero cheese. We got two different chorizos here. I think we're going to go with this one. This one's a lot higher quality. This one has a lot of fat, so we'll use that. If we need a little bit more, we'll add some of that to it. Here we have 10 hot Italian sausages. We're going to be using the skins off of these, the casings. So taking the casing off, squeezing the rest of that out, washing them casings down, and keeping them in a bowl of water until we're ready to use them. Here's our pork that we're going to be pulling, and I'll explain this to you later, how this was cooked, what it was done. This is our masa, tamale masa. I'll explain how I made that too. And these are our ingredients. Let me go ahead and start prepping. I have a lot of prep work to do. Got to cook this up, clean those, squeeze them out, pull that, get this all ready. Got to get those ready. So we'll meet you back here, probably at the table, and I'll start explaining stuff. Alright guys, everything's prepped and ready to go. But before we get started, I have one more shout out to give to Angie Spada. I hope I'm saying your name right. We go with the UV Sriracha. Let's do a toast to you right quick. See if I can even get this on camera maybe. You see me? Here's to you. Boy. If you're a YouTube food person and you don't know Angie, then you don't know nothing. She is awesome. Just a great friend, great person. She also made me this. So there you go. Thanks a lot, Angie. Appreciate it and everything that you do. Alright guys, here's the two ingredients I need to explain right quick how they came about. Yeah, the pulled pork. Yeah, the masa here. Alright, I thought of this idea about 2 months ago. Probably the next day after I did my pepperoni pizza poppers. I came up with my Philly cheesesteak ones and my tamale popper ideas. And this and that happened, so I did the Philly cheesesteak ones first, and that left me with these. And the whole time I've been thinking about how to figure out how to do these ones, and I never messed with masa before, never used it, so I wanted to do a couple test runs with it. My main goal was I wanted to put fresh masa into my pepper and cook it on the grill. And if you see my last video, you'll see that I used casings, sausage casings, as the covering. That way it wouldn't affect the flavor of my tamale. I wanted it to taste like a true tamale without bacon wrapped around it, without fiddling with toothpicks. So that's why I wanted to use the casing to hold everything in, and I wanted to cook the masa right inside the pepper. So I decided I better test that out first, because after looking at it, masa takes like an hour to 2 hours to cook. Steaming it, boiling it, however have you, it's going to be in the grill. So I'm like, oh boy, I better try this out first. Well, for a couple of days I tried out probably 10 different ways of trying to cook fresh masa inside of a pepper, and just hour long. I did them in the oven. The peppers were just getting too soggy, too overcooked, and the masa on the inside wasn't even cooking enough. So that's what really bothered me. I was struggling trying to figure out different ways to do it. I mean, I was stuffing it in the pepper straight. I was wrapping the pepper in tin foil. I was wrapping the pepper in corn husks like a tamale is. I was wrapping them in wet cabbage leaves, baking them on. None of those worked. I tried several different things, and it was just kind of irritating. I started thinking maybe I'm going to have to use something else besides masa. So I thought, well, what about yellow corn tortillas? Just mush them up and stuff those in there. Well, I decided, no, I want real masa, so my last idea was I'm just going to go ahead and make some tamales the traditional way with no filling. So that's what you see here is this is the what I scraped out of a tamale that didn't have no filling in it. I used corn husks, masa. The flavoring that went into here was chicken broth instead of water, and I added some cumin to it, so it's got a nice little flavor to it already. And just laid it on some corn husks, rolled it up, steamed it for an hour and a half to 2 hours, let it sit overnight, warmed it up, scraped it off, and that's what you see here. So that's what's going to be going in the very bottom and the top layer of our jalapenos to make a true, basically a mini tamale stuffed inside of a jalapeno. That's what that is. Here we had a couple of country style pork ribs that you could say braised. Oh, grab it real quick. Braised in the sriracha vodka here inside the crock pot. So I don't know if you want to call it crock potted or braised, same, whatever, close enough. All that went on here was salt and pepper in the crock pot. I halved the onion, threw it in there, and then I chopped up the stems of cilantro, threw that in there too, and give a nice little cilantro flavor. And then poured about probably half to a whole cup of this sriracha vodka in there. And I let that go for about 8 hours. And then I pulled it out of that, wiped the stuff off, and threw it straight onto the Weber grill to get a char on each side. Alright, so here we go. Next thing you know, I chopped it up, actually pulled it. There's that. There's the masa. There's our chorizo that I just cooked a little bit ago. Here's our casing soaking in water from all the sausages that we did. Let's get this stuffing. I think it's time for one more shot first. What do you say? Alright, let's have another shot and then we'll start stuffing. Alright, boy, that was a spicy shot. Let's go ahead and start building one of these guys. Take our pepper, load in some masa. Just a thin layer on the bottom here, just like a regular tamale. They should be thin. Take some of our pulled pork. Not too much here. Habanero jalapeno jack. Jack melts so good. I love jack cheese in these things. It melts so great. Alright, now let's go ahead and hit it with some chorizo. Also, the reason why this pork was so mildly seasoned, just salt, pepper, basically sriracha vodka, and cilantro stem, is because chorizo has tons of flavor in it. So I didn't want the pork to be counteracting the flavor or fighting the flavor inside the chorizo, because that stuff is just ridiculous. So stuff that in there really good. I mean, when you taste just a tiny piece of this stuff like that right there, your mouth just goes, holy shit, that's too much flavor. Like it needs something to go with it. So you don't want any more than that. That might even be too much right there. We'll go ahead and go with that and see what happens. Let's go and throw another piece of cheese on here. And then let's take the lid and we'll hit that guy. Some more moss in here. Let's see if we can get a better one. There we go, runs the length. Put that on. There you go. It's a mini tamale, pulled pork and chorizo, habanero jalapeno cheese inside of a jalapeno. How about that? We got one more step to go. Let me do the rest of these, then we'll start stuffing these things in pork casings. 1 out of 5 goes smooth. This one looks kind of easy, so let's try it out. Wow. Oops, can you see that? What's going on? Kind of smooth there. It's kind of rolling over itself right there at the end here. I'm trying to separate that. Alright. I can't think of a better way to seal all your goodness in than a sausage casing. Look at that. I mean, not even bacon can secure it that perfectly. So let's see what happens. And it's not going to add any flavor. It's just going to be pure pepper and stuffing. Exactly what you want. Bacon's always awesome, but sometimes when you have a theme like these are, this is the way I wanted to go. So, alright, let's get these bad boys on the grill. Alright guys, I want to bring you back real quick. We're at least 10 minutes in, maybe 15. You can see how protected these guys are from them bricks. They're not getting any color yet, but you can definitely tell how much that pork casing has sucked in and tightened down on these guys. You almost can't even tell that there's a casing on them. Like they just look like peppers with some split in the middle with some stuff going on there, right? I mean, look at that, this thing's really tightened down on them really good. So I'm gonna leave this lid off for a little bit. Then we're gonna pump her up to 350, maybe 375, try to get some more heat going on, get some color on these guys. Everything's pretty much already cooked in the middle, so we just want to melt everything and then get a nice good some nice color on the outside, get them casings nice and tight and crispy, or snappy. Alright, so we're looking now. Get some color on them. See that color on the cheese and some of the peppers. Alright, we're going to go and give them a toss, give them a flip. Then we're going to run inside and make some cilantro lime crema sauce for these guys. Alright, here we are. Let's get a good close up. The last 2 minutes I put them right over the heat to get a good char on them. As you can see, them casings tightened up, sucked them down real tight, held everything in. Man, are they looking good. They don't look like they do when you got bacon on them. Bacon has all that contrast and color. But boy, them things are ready, and I can't wait to taste one. Alright, it's time for a tasting. So, let's give this thing a taste. Oh wait, This is not the star of the show. Whew. Actually, not that crappy beer. This is the star. Before I taste this, I need to let you know, this is actually a couple days later, after the cook. A day or two later, I watched the footage, and the tasting, it was just too dark outside. It already got too late. It was too dark. The footage is unusable. So a couple days later, actually I only have two peppers left, so we're going to go and do a quick tasting real quick and wrap this video up. So here's what we got. Let's see if we can see that here. Alrighty. Wow. I heated these up in the oven, trying to get some of that crisp back to the skin here. Got cilantro lime sauce going on here. Alright, so when I first tasted these, they're not going to be nothing like right off the grill, but that skin, that casing, was awesome. It had awesome snap to it, just like a sausage. I mean, you bite into it and it just goes snap, and it was awesome. Cilantro all over the place. It was killer. But let's see what happens since I heated them up in the oven to try and get some of that snap back, and better than the microwave. So let's see how they taste. It was like 3 days later, maybe 4. Did you hear that? Still hot. Wow. First thing is that nice masa that comes through with the chicken broth that was in it and the cumin. Then you get that sriracha braised pork. It was awesome. So a little chorizo flavor. That's where the nice spices come from. It's really nice. Wow, I could eat these things all day long. Let's go and try this. What was that? That was cilantro lime crema we made here. Hopefully that makes it in the video. We'll see. Again, good snap. What do we have here? You can see the masa around the outside. That yellow wall makes everything look yellow. Anyways, they're just frickin' awesome. They taste totally Mexican. It'd be great to have a couple tequila shots with them. All I have is beer and sriracha vodka left, but this is what's for dinner again tonight. Friggin' awesome. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is what's for dinner. Stay hungry.